All right, so tell me about your cheese making experience.
Well, the cheese making is close and dear to my heart because I love cheese, and I thought, you know, what better to get away fine cheese than make it myself. But it turns out that it's hard. Managed to make some good mozzarella, pulled, stretched. That was delicious. But then the other one I made is just sitting in my basement, and it's not moldy, which you'd think would be a good sign, but that's I failed because it's supposed to be moldy. So I started here at the very end of 2002, and I started out kind of hopping around doing little things for a couple of teams. And then eventually I ended up on the Snagit team for a good while, hopped over to the Moray team to help get out their 1.0 release, then back to Snagit, and worked on that for quite a while. And I became a lead developer on that after a while because you don't have to be here for that many years for me to have been a relatively senior person. And then recently, within the last year, switched to working on the Mac to get Snagit for Mac out the door, which is going to be pretty cool. So I've been jumping around to wherever I'm needed most. The more interesting thing about my time here was that that's when I met my wife, and I actually proposed to her in the building during one of our meetings, because when else would you do that? I mean, who does that at dinner when there's no one to applaud? Going from Windows development to Mac development was actually not as hard as I thought it was going to be. I thought that we would need some really 20 years of experience leader in order to do it. But it turns out that development is development, and if you know what you're doing and you're working hard, that the languages and the platform are not nearly as important as the skills and interactions with your team, and just the general approaches that you've always been supposed to be using in development. And those ended up winning out, and in the end we managed to move a lot easier and a lot faster than I'd been able to do on Windows. So it's been pleasant. Plus I really like my MacBook. It's shiny and it likes me. My typical day has changed a lot over the last 6 years. It used to be me by myself with a task that somebody kicked off to me, and I'd say, okay, see you in 3 months, and here it is, I'm done. Now it's turned into, the more people I can bring into the room, the better. Pair programming has become the norm for me. I feel unstable if I have to check something in when there's no one else there to review it. So it's become a group interaction. And that's not the same way on every team, but this has been allowing us, I think, to move at a lot faster pace without losing any of our quality. We keep that kind of a top priority. And so we only have 2 and sometimes 3 people really assigned to the office, but we just keep pulling more people in, and we'll end up with 4 or 5 people in our office just so that we don't have to stand up and walk down the hall. I do have a love of ham. I don't raise my own pigs, so I don't make my own ham. I didn't do the same thing with the cheese. But I'll tell you this, whoever first thought, why don't I take some bread and some ham and some Swiss and put it all together and melt it, was a brilliant person. It doesn't seem like it should be anything special. It's just another meat, another cheese. It's a regular sandwich, but no, it isn't your standard sandwich. It goes above and beyond for something that only has 3 ingredients.